Live for yourself. Not in a selfish way, not in a careless way, but in a way that finally allows you to breathe without asking permission. From the moment we learn to speak, we are taught what to say, how to behave, what is acceptable, and what will make others happy. Slowly, without realizing it, we begin shaping our lives around expectations that were never truly ours. We smile when we want to cry, agree when we want to say no, and follow paths that look safe to others but feel empty to us. Living for yourself begins the moment you question this pattern. It begins when you ask, "What do I want?" and give that question the respect it deserves, instead of silencing it out of fear. Most people spend their lives chasing approval like oxygen. Approval from parents, from friends, from society, from strangers on the internet. We dress for compliments, choose careers for validation, and measure our worth by how useful or impressive we appear to others. The tragedy is not that we care about people. The tragedy is that we forget to care about ourselves in the process. Living for yourself does not mean you stop loving others. It means you stop abandoning yourself just to be loved. It means understanding that you cannot pour endlessly from an empty cup and then wonder why you feel exhausted, bitter, or lost. There comes a quiet moment in life when you realize that no one is coming to save you. Not from your fears, not from your regrets, not from the life you settled for instead of the life you wanted. This realization can feel heavy, but it is also powerful. Because the moment you accept that this is your life, you also accept that you have the right to shape it. Living for yourself starts with responsibility. Not blame, not guilt, but responsibility. Responsibility to choose again. Responsibility to change direction. Responsibility to stop waiting for permission to be who you already are inside. Many people confuse living for yourself with being rude, distant, or rebellious. In reality, it often looks very quiet. It looks like choosing peace over drama. It looks like walking away from conversations that shrink you. It looks like resting without guilt, saying no without explaining, and letting go of roles you were never meant to play. It looks like honoring your limits even when others don't understand them. The strongest people are not those who shout the loudest, but those who remain true to themselves, even when it costs them comfort. Fear is the biggest enemy of living for yourself. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of being misunderstood. We imagine worst-case scenarios that rarely happen, and we allow those imagined outcomes to control real decisions. But the truth is, people will judge you whether you live for them or for yourself. They will talk when you try, and they will talk when you stay silent. The difference is this: when you live for others, their judgment leaves you empty. When you live for yourself, their judgment loses its power. Living for yourself means allowing yourself to evolve. You are not required to remain loyal to an old version of yourself that no longer fits. Growth is not betrayal, it is honesty. You are allowed to change your dreams, your priorities, your boundaries. You are allowed to outgrow people, places, and beliefs that once felt like home. Holding on to the past just because it is familiar can slowly suffocate your future. Living for yourself means choosing growth even when it feels lonely. One of the hardest lessons in life is realizing that love should not require self-destruction. If you have to constantly shrink, explain, or prove your worth to stay connected to someone, you are not living. You are surviving. Living for yourself means choosing relationships that allow you to be real, not perfect. It means understanding that being alone for a while is healthier than being surrounded by people who make you feel invisible. Solitude, when chosen, is not loneliness, it is recovery. Living for yourself also means redefining success. Success is not just money, status, or applause. Success is waking up without resentment. Success is having energy left at the end of the day. Success is doing work that aligns with your values, even if it takes longer to be recognized. When you live for yourself, you stop comparing timelines. You stop measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel. You understand that a slow, meaningful journey is better than a fast, empty race. There will be moments when living for yourself feels uncomfortable. Growth often does. You may disappoint people who benefited from your silence. You may lose connections that were built on convenience rather than respect. These moments can make you doubt your choices, but remember, this discomfort is temporary, regret is permanent. The pain of choosing yourself lasts far less than the pain of abandoning yourself year after year. Living for yourself requires courage, but courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing yourself even while your hands are shaking. It is taking small steps toward a life that feels true, even when you don't have all the answers. You don't need to transform everything overnight. Sometimes living for yourself begins with one honest decision, one boundary, one brave no, or one quiet yes to something that excites your soul. You are not here to perform. You are not here to meet every expectation placed on you. You are here to experience life fully, honestly, and deeply. Your dreams matter, even if they don't make sense to others. Your feelings are valid, even if they are inconvenient. Your pace is okay, even if it doesn't match the world's urgency. Living for yourself is an act of self-respect in a world that constantly tries to define you. One day, you will look back on your life, and the opinions that once scared you will feel distant and small. What will matter is whether you were honest with yourself, whether you listened to your inner voice, whether you chose authenticity over approval. Living for yourself is not about being fearless, it is about being faithful to your truth, your values, and your becoming. So start today. Start where you are. You don't need permission, perfect conditions, or universal approval. You only need honesty and the willingness to choose yourself again and again. Because at the end of the day, the longest relationship you will ever have is with yourself. Make it a life you don't need to escape from. Live for yourself, not someday, not later, but now.